We are going to. Hang on. Hang on. Patience. Okay. We can, but we're not going to. So, for instance, finding ratios, numero uno. Our football team outscored their opponents by a ratio. Ratio is like a fraction of 3 to 1. So it's sort of like us and them here. Give me a possibility for a final score of the game that fits the given. In other words, yes, sir. Okay, how did you get that? Okay, right. One of the things you can get is a touchdown. So we'll include the extra point here. You can multiply by whatever that particular value. Wait just a little bit till we're done with the lesson. Thank you. You could. But as long as it's that same number, no, don't prove anything. And then just multiply across, I can get the score. Now, if some of you did it with a field goal, you could use 3 in the same area and you'd end up with 9 to 3. Okay? It would work either way. But that's one way I could use a ratio. We're going to get back into that in a little bit, but for the time being, we're going to work with unit rates. So, if I look at number 2, at Taco Bell, there are 22 people waiting in the line. Now, I've never seen 22 people in line at Taco Bell before. That's just me. And there are 3 registers open. What's the ratio of people to register? Wait 1 second. Whenever you're doing a ratio, typically, not every time, if I have 22 people and there's 3 registers, somebody that is calculated out there, divide 22 by 3 and tell me what you get. Okay, 7.3 repeating. I know, but I have to have... So I'd have 7.3, approximately, people per register. Now I understand that I can't have like 0.3 people. That would be kind of strange. But we're just using this as an approximation with it. It's not that we're looking for an exact, and that's why when you've asked before if you could round, I'd really prefer that you don't right now on these, because that way we're getting more used to what we're doing. Yes, you should be writing this down. You absolutely should be. That's okay. So, now, when we get to number 3, what we're going to do is we're going to take that fraction and we're going to flip it the other direction. So, what I want you to do for number 3 is take the 22 over 3 and flip it over. So, 3 goes on top, 22 goes on the bottom, and tell me what goofy-looking decimal you get out of that. That's all we're going to do. Oops, I got to pull one more thing out. Not you.
Oh, good.
Not you.
That was a good day.
Well, it should be a good day. It's Friday. So, what we need to do... Huh? Actually, right outside the door. You know, like that, like the little area when you get out into the area. There's a hallway leading right here. Take a left out of here. Out towards the left is a hallway. There, you should be able to. So, can you help me with that? This is will help me out. Okay, do you want to go file a student? Do you want to go file a report? Okay. That's a good answer. Okay. So, I think somebody told me the flip answer here. 3 divided by 22. Okay.
I want to get the answer first.
So, here's the idea. If you have a decimal, we're going to run to 2 decimal places. We're going to go there. So, it's a little less than 0.14 registers per person. Now again, that may not be something that you're used to seeing, but we have some different values that sometimes aren't going to necessarily come in. But it's this idea that we're using to find what's called a unit rate. Whatever's in the bottom, whether it's one person, one register, we're always going to have 1 on the bottom. Otherwise, it's not a single unit. So, for instance, at a garage sale, we made $15 by selling 6 CDs. What's the unit rate for dollars made on each CD? Okay, so I got $15 divided by 6 CDs. How much am I going to be making per CD?
$1.35.
Punch it in. $2.50 per CD.
I'm not.
And you guys, that word doesn't make any sense. Sorry, because you guys use it so much.
They said that I could have had like 5 different girls and you said it all at once.
Yes, that's how I work.
He's like 2 pages.
Yes. I just work it and work it and work it up, and then when it gets really filled in, that's when I turn it on. It's a close race. It doesn't matter. Right now, we're in the middle of a lesson.
All that matters is music. All right, back to math.
Back to math.
Back to math.
So, on our science quiz, we can get 18 points on 12 questions. How many points can I earn per question? What do I have to do? Divide what? Okay. So 18 divided by 12. What do we get? 1.5. Points per question. Okay. So that's how this is going to work. The setup is going to be the same on all of them. It just depends on what order things are going in. Yes. Yes, 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 and yes. Yes. All right. How is number 6 going to set up? Nice. 225 words, 5 minutes. Okay. So what's that actually going to equal? Okay. 45, what's the label going to be?
45 words.
No, 1 minute. 1 minute.
If I had 1 minute.
Because you're not doing what we're doing. You're sitting there with a different sheet, not writing anything down. No. Okay. Rates as we keep going. Now, here's one thing that we've got to keep going. It will not always be the first number divided by the second one. Sometimes, for instance, here, if I have 5 people and 16 pieces of chicken, if I did Yeah, if I did 5 divided by 16, I'd get some little tiny decimal number, and we know people are going to get more than one piece of chicken. So, what we're going to do instead Miguel, that's the problem. That's the problem.
I have everything written down. Do I not? Where is that light coming from?
Yes. So, like Alex was saying, what's 16 divided by 5 going to be? 3.1. Close.
Oh, it's 3.2. 3.2. Oh, I thought we were on 8.
Sorry.
I just used PC for PC.
Yes. No.
Can you tell the people next door that they have the best?
Alex.
Don't do that. I'm going to tell them.
Now we are at 8. Yes. Okay. So if we sell 95,500 in 5 days, how many is that per 1 day?
That's 19,000.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Okay, and if you just put per day, that's quite all right. Okay, 9 I'm not doing. Now, here's where we're going to take a deep breath, because we're going to add something to this on the other side.
Okay.
Oh, damn. What's that? Yeah, we have been the entire time.
Wait.
Yeah, we have been the entire time. So if we want to relive this later on, you can just go to the website, click on live 7th hour, and relive the whole thing if you want to. I'll show you as soon as we're done. Okay, now we're actually going to start using. We're actually going to start using the rates now. Back over to that. Can I help? Watch. Okay. In the village of Mill Run, okay, 1 out of 3 people live in an apartment. Now, here's how we're going to use what we just did to get an answer. We're going to take our 1 person out of 3. Okay, what's the decimal for that? I know, and I understand it, and I agree with you, but, okay, instead of going just to the decimal here, here's what I want to do. If one lives in an apartment out of every 3 people total, and they tell me that there's 360 people that live in the town, I'm going to use my rate as a proportion to figure this out. Now, people were telling me during secondary, they kept talking about this butterfly. I see where they're coming from with the butterfly, okay? Because here's how this works. We're going to cross multiply here. So 3 times x is 3x. Stop. 1 times 360 is 360. I have different colored pens. Okay? So I have a one-step equation now. What's the one step to get x alone? Divide by 3. And I know Alice has been telling me this forever, but that's okay. 120 people live in apartments. Okay. 120 people in apartments. Okay? So, yes. Well, but wait till we get to the next question. How many people do not live in apartments? So no. Yes, sir. How did you get that? Right. There's 360 total people. 120 live in apartments. Well, but we just care about Mill Run. No, this is just Mill Run. Everywhere else, they get to do their own thing. Okay? Last one. Some studies show that in the United States, 1 out of every 7 people are left-handed. Do I have any lefties? All right, so our ratio is not bad in here. All right. So we've got one person. Oops. So far, yeah. 1 lefty out of 7 people. So in an office of 28 people, how many are going to be lefties? So we always put the lefties part, in this case up top, then just the other people on the bottom. So, yep, because 7 times x and 1 times 28 is 28. And notice the step's going to be the same again. We just divide by 7, and we find out we have 4 lefties. Yes, sir?
Why didn't you just take a step and
You can. If you see that, you can. With these examples, it's pretty easy to do that, but we will get into some that it will get a little bit trickier, so I'm just trying to get you into a good habit. Okay? So if 6 people are left-handed, how many people would be right-handed? Oh, I heard it. That's an excellent way of looking at this, because, okay, if 6 people are left-handed, let's think about this for a minute. So when you have one person, okay, is left-handed, now that's going to 6. What did I do to get from 1 to 6? Multiplied by 6. Okay? But, okay, go ahead. Right. But, okay, I was trying to think of it. You guys are going to see. Scratch it. Well, no, we still get there this way, but let's try your... We'll find a lesson somewhere where it's coming, actually, though. I think there's one next week. I may be brave enough to let you try it. Okay, hang on, though. Hang on. So if one person out of every 7 is a lefty, and I know 6 people in the office, Alex. There's going to be one extra step this way, but it might be safer for some of you. 1x. What's 7 times 6? Okay, now, there's 42 total people in this office. Because if one person out of every 7 is a lefty, okay, and there are 6 lefties, and there are 6 lefties, okay, I line up the lefties in the same part. And I do this deal, okay? There's 42 total people, but 6 of them are left-handed. 36 righties. Okay? So, your job is to take the other sheet using this. Hey. Alex, teachers don't interrupt other teachers. Your job is to finish off the other one using this sheet as your example to work off of. Because starting Monday, we're going to start working on the unit review. We're going to start going back over everything we've done so far, so when we have the unit test, I think it's going to be Wednesday, I think, then we'll be ready to go for that. Then we're going to start heading towards like equations and inequalities and stuff like that. Okay? Go ahead.
Love you, Mom.
Okay. Anybody else with any shout-outs?
I love you.
Okay, we're done.